Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Max&JuanCast. And goddamn, bro, the news just keeps on flooding in. Max, how you doing tonight, my brother?
As a resident Charger fan, I'm feeling very well, very
Jesus,
good.
you gotta
Sorry,
stop
English
that.
teachers.
That makes me just want to throw up, bro. Like you saying that.
I
Like I
think
honestly,
they
I
made a
want
move that makes you want to throw up even more than anything I can say.
to. Look, we gonna get into it, bro. Look, we appreciate you guys rocking with us, man. If you guys are watching this, obviously on YouTube, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you guys already subscribed, unsubscribe, resubscribe, like the video, comment down below. This is going to be an interesting one, man. You're probably going to see us on different days with different clothes on. This is part one of the free agency breakdown, basically. We're going to try to do as much, opinions and news that we can throughout the week. It is Monday today, 10:21 p.m. Pacific time. So whatever part one is, this is all the news you're gonna get. And a lot has happened. A lot has happened. You guys have been seeing our report cards lately and just the Russell Wilson shit. So a lot of stuff has gone on. I want to give this little breakdown. This is how crazy the week was, Max. So all of this happened in 1 week. We talked about the Russell Wilson to the Broncos, Aaron Rodgers returning to Green Bay, Tom Brady unretires, Amari Cooper traded, Cleveland, Khalil Mack traded, Chargers, Vikings extend Kirk Cousins, and Carson Wentz, of course, traded to the Commandees, whatever the fuck they're called, the football
Commandees. I like them the
team.
Commandos.
Commandos, yeah, the fucking whatever, dog shit, because that's what they are. Anyway,
Jesus Christ. Where do you want to start, bro? It feels weird not starting with Brady, but I'm totally okay not doing it.
I don't want to spend much on him. We'll hit on that when we do, but I obviously want to get into the trades. I think two guys that were former Raiders. I'm very fond of. Uh, had both of their jerseys. They have gotten traded again,
You really have
and
both?
you Max have been on a roll. If you guys missed out on our report cards, a lot of these we posted as MJC clips. Max has been hitting it right on the fucking nose with a lot
Hey,
of these
hey, hey,
moves.
hey. Come on. I usually like to bust your balls, but you were right on some shit too, bro. Like,
No,
can we
but
start
you
with the
got the
Coop
coop.
stuff?
Yeah.
I've been saying cut him for like 2 years because he's a bum. But if this doesn't just signify this guy's not looked at very highly among the league, Amari Cooper was traded to the Cleveland Browns for a 5th-round pick this year and a swap of 6 rounders.
You know what though,
Wow.
Max? I don't think it's the player though. It's not the player.
It's the
Yeah, I
contract you're going
think
to say?
it's the contract. It honestly is.
I think it's a
I
mixture of
think
it's of both. It's a player not living up to the contract.
most definitely, and I think it's a mixture of injuries. Like he's an injury prone guy. I think when times get tough, like the dude just cannot stay healthy. And all it took was CD Lamb to fucking push him out of the way and be like, "Hey, I'm wide receiver number 1." That's
Well, I
all it
feel
took.
like just drafting him put the timer on this deal, and it really Denver made sense to pay him all that money. I think what happened was you trade a 1st-round pick to your team, the Raiders.
Yeah.
You gotta keep the asset. He has all
Right.
the leverage. And in NFL, usually when you trade for someone, give up that much draft capital, Orlando Brown, franchise tag. That's what happens. You got to keep the asset. The Seahawks were destroyed for trading a 2nd-round pick for Clowney and then letting him walk the next year. But maybe they were right instead of being just held to the gun and say, hey, give me $60 million.
Yeah. But they found a suitor. And I think part of it, of them finding a suitor, was not only, it wasn't the fact of like, oh, no one wanted Amari Cooper. I think it was more like, all right, who's with both of these trades that we're going to talk about? It was more of, okay, who's going to take on this contract? Who has enough salary to take it on? Because we'll give him to you. And that's what happened with the Cleveland Browns. They were willing to take on his contract. And let's be real, $20 million, that's a lot for Amari Cooper. Just the whole, you gotta, like we just said, you gotta put everything into it. The player itself, yeah, you can just be like, oh yeah, he's worth it. If everything is right, it's worth it. But the Browns are taking on an injury prone guy, just like they've been have. Like Odell, injury prone when they got him. Jarvis Landry, a guy that gets hurt a lot, injury prone. And now they got Amari Cooper. Do you like the fit, Max?
Well, it makes it easier to accept him when you cut Jarvis Landry and save all that money from his contract. And basically, it's kind of a little bit of a wash. I know you're going to still pay Coop 20, but when you save 10 with Jarvis, it's an easier pill to swallow.
Yeah.
The fit, it's not really. I think Amari Cooper's going to feel like he's playing in Bama again, which is all this run stuff.
You know what Amari Cooper reminds me of, Max? He reminds me, he's like equivalent to an NBA player that puts up good numbers, but he's not a winning player. Like there's gonna be that guy on TV or just a guy like on a podcast and be like, Amari Cooper's the shit, like AJ Brown. AJ Brown, perfect example. I don't know if you've seen this, but he tweeted out about Amari Cooper. He's like, Amari Cooper is one of the best route runners, yada, yada, yada. How is he going for a 5th round pick, 6th round pick? Well, dude, it's because of all the shit we said, the injuries, the fucking fact that he doesn't come out in big games like you, AJ Brown. Like, there's gonna be some dickhead out there is gonna be like, he's the best route runner. Oh, he is this, he is that. Yeah, you can mention that about every single player in the NFL. Everyone's talented, Max. And when everything is going right, you can argue that that guy's the best player on the team. But it doesn't go right for Amari Cooper. It's either the injuries or he simply gets fucking a lot of yards against Green Goblin.
No, he usually gets locked
Or
up
is
by
it the
Green Goblin.
opposite?
No, Green
Yeah.
Goblin locks him up in the biggest game
Okay,
of the
Green
year.
Goblin's the one.
But he
Who's the
tortures
one
our
that he
7th
beat
string
from the
corner and talks
Eagles?
shit about it. Jaquette, that bum. But I mean,
Yeah,
in Cleveland, I do this trade again. It's not like it's kind of like a
yeah,
buy low, high reward type thing. And especially Baker.
yeah.
They already talked about Baker's not coming back this year. You'll have the cap space to eat this contract. You get a little draft capital, as little as it is. The Browns made a good move because they have no wide receivers at all.
Yeah. Looking back at the Raiders trade, I would do it again. I'll
You
just
guys are
tell you that
winners,
much.
huge winners in that trade.
It's hard to say that we're winners. I would just definitely say we're not losers. I wouldn't go to the point of saying that we're winners just because the guy that we got in it is still to be determined. But I mean, it is what it is. The other guy that's used to be a Raider, Khalil Mack, he fucking broke the internet on when was this? What happened? Thursday? Was it Thursday?
Are you talking about he broke the internet this time or when he first got traded from you guys?
I think this was bigger than when he first got traded.
No way. You're on drugs.
You don't think so?
No way.
You
I
know
know
what
some
though?
dumbass
That
Raider fan who
day,
bet their soul he wouldn't get traded.
it sucks, bro, because my one and only niece in the world, her birthday, it was her second birthday. And all I remember from her birthday that day is that it's the day that Khalil Mack got traded. So like I was already like not in the zone, bro. Like I seen it in the morning. Luckily, it happened like in the morning time, and I seen it and I fucking threw my phone. I was mad. I don't want to relive that. But after that, like I turned off my phone. I was just like, yeah, fuck this. I'm not fucking going on social media. So I didn't really get to see the internet get broken as far as like all day. So you probably remember more. But people were still going crazy that the Chargers got Khalil Mack. And you know what? It's kind of like the same thing. I wouldn't say he's a guy that doesn't show up in big moments like Amari Cooper, but I think a guy that's getting paid that much money coming off an injury prone season, I don't know. I don't know if it's already to expect like a double digit sack season by Khalil Mack. What do you think about it?
Well, before I answer that, do you like what they gave up for a 2nd round pick this year and a 6th?
In their
The
position, I'll
Chargers,
do it.
Yeah,
they
and
have a
the
shit ton
Chargers,
of cap.
it's like they're copying the Rams again. They're just going to go all in. It's like, okay, we see what we need. We have Herbert on the rookie deal, which makes it really
Right.
easy to spend this money. I don't know if you can expect double-digit sacks from Khalil Mack, but I'll say this might be the best guy on the outside he's ever played with in Joey Bosa. So maybe that tandem can get well. And we're going to actually – I think we should just shift the focus to the Chargers right now for everything they did because it's not just Mack they brought in. I like the trade. And I like it even more when you supply a huge, big body in the middle of Sebastian Joseph Day, who I called. I said, this is a guy they should
You
target.
did.
I know Brandon Staley knows him. This helps out their run defense, just like Mac did. And then what they do, they went and got the lockdown corner you asked them to go get, and they brought back Mike Williams for $20 million. The only move I wasn't a big fan of. But the
Really, you're
Chargers
not a big
defense,
fan of that.
I like Mike Williams, but in that freaking episode, you can go watch the clip. I say, I wouldn't want to pay Mike Williams $20 million a year. That's exactly what they paid him.
Yeah.
So if they
But
got him a little cheaper, I would have loved it. But this is a new look Charger defense. I think Khalil Mack could have a bounce back year. And it's been 2 years, Juan, of just kind of like he's in the twilight.
Yeah.
He's hit that Von Miller stage.
He didn't miss a lot of games the year prior to this. But if people remember about Khalil Mack, and me and you vividly do remember him dealing with injuries every week, he was just playing through them. Like his body is just not the same than when he first showed up in Chicago. A lot of people don't remember Max. Khalil Mack wasn't one of these players that came out after 2 years in Alabama. He was a fifth-year senior. He spent all his time in Buffalo. So he has a lot of miles on those tires. Like, this is not your typical 31-year-old.
Yeah, he played 7 games this year, had 6 sacks. He was productive. Bad news for Khalil Mack. 152 is taken by Kyle Frackle.
That's
so
definitely
I'm sure they'll work it. I'm sure they'll work something out, or maybe Mack can go back to 46, look like Von Miller and some
No,
40s
don't go to
number.
46.
No, I truly think Khalil Mack will have a good year if he can stay healthy. And like the Chargers, like this is what I was going to bring up to you, and I talked about it before. If I'm a Raider fan, I'm a little pissed. I feel like every team in the division got better but us. In the NFL, if you stay the same, you're getting worse. The Raiders have made no moves other than re-signing Max Crosby.
Well, the week's not over.
I understand, but I'm just saying,
there.
like, a lot of those guys are off the board. So now what are you left with? Like, there's really, like, I could go to the top 100.
There's a lot of guys still
There's
on the
nothing
board,
I'm really
Max.
like, damn, I really want that.
Who did you
like,
want
and
the Raiders to sign?
I understand free agency's one a lot of the times. It's like the mid-tier guys who always make the impact. It's not always the big name. But if I'm a Raider fan, I got to look at it like this. The Chiefs signed Justin Reed. Chargers, they get J.C. Jackson, Sebastian Joseph Day, Khalil Mack. Broncos get Russ. It's just the Raiders haven't done anything. And I know it's still young. There's still plenty of crap to happen, but that's just something to look at. And
let me tell you
Jackson
this.
one, you don't love that move by the Chargers?
Well, look, on paper, it's fantastic. It's fucking phenomenal.
You should say what Joey texted.
What did he say?
What did he say? He said, "How could it not work?" So the Chargers.
How can it not work? So this is what I brought up.
Easily not fucking work because I'm an Eagles fan, and Dream Team happened.
I said Dream Team 2.0. Look, the only reason why I have a lot more faith that this will work is obviously because of the quarterback. The Dream Team didn't have a guy like Justin Herbert. It's his 3rd year. This is usually when, like, that 3rd year for elite quarterbacks is fucking, like, elevation is like on 1,000. Like, look at a guy like Josh Allen. Video coming soon, FYI.
Shameless.
Yeah. I have faith in the Chargers just because of that. But there is a scenario this doesn't work out. Like I said, Khalil Mack, I wouldn't consider him injury prone as his career, a full-on career, no. But the last 2 years has been hurt. Wouldn't surprise me if he got hurt again. I would consider him injury prone. Joey Bosa, guy that has missed some games. I know he played a lot last year, but a guy that gets hurt a lot. Derwin James, injury prone. He's one of those guys. Yeah, he played all of this season, but he has a history of this.
He missed 2 full seasons.
Samuel missed a couple of games last year. I know he's a rookie, but he's been injury prone. J.C. Jackson, I love J.C. Jackson. As a Raider fan, I was already processing if there was a chance that we did sign him. And I was already thinking, like, what Patriots have came out as a free agent and have been successful? Usually the Patriot guys don't work after this. Name one Patriot free agent that went on somewhere else and winded up believing in the hype. Like,
Tom
winded
Brady?
up earning their contract.
Tom Brady?
Besides Tom Brady. That was a good one, though. Fuck
Gronk?
You. Stop. Gronk and Brady, no. I'm talking about
Jamie Collins?
No, you know what, though? Specifically defensive players. Because the Patriots have been doing this for years.
No, I agree 100%. Like, Jamie Collins left. Not mixed bag of results.
Right.
Darrelle Revis leaves. His career's over.
Low-key Stephon Gilmore in the games that he did play.
Gilly Locks kind of fell. Chandler Jones is still good, but he got traded.
Chandler
he
Jones.
Wasn't cut. Yeah. So
would you say Trey Flowers has lived up to his contract in
speaking
Detroit?
of that, no, he was cut. But I agree with you on that's definitely always a red flag for Patriots players when they leave Foxborough. And we could totally be wrong. And I think I am wrong about J.C. Jackson. I think he is that good of a cornerback. And like Juan said, you give Brandon Staley that chess piece to play with. You give him that nose tackle that can just eat up 2 blocks every time. Let's see what this defense does. His seat just got 100 times hotter.
Oh my God.
Because now the expectations aren't just we have to make the playoffs. It's like, no, we have to be one of the best teams in the AFC. And we'll see if they're going to live up to it, Juan.
We'll see, man. I have faith in Herbert, but I don't like the coach and the players that you are depending on. I wouldn't be too fond of it. I'm being a hater. Yes, I'm a Raider fan. And I would disagree with, it's only day one. There's a lot more moves to get out there. If I would tell you this in day 2 tomorrow, and it's going to be funny when we do part 2, and I tell you this, like, let's say the Raiders just sign Gilly Lock and Tyrann Mathieu. Like, I think those are 2 fucking
classic Raider moves, getting those old guys.
Fuck it.
God, LaMarcus Joyner is looking real good
before
right
we move on to whatever we got to talk about, I think it's Brady or whatever. What did you think about the Max Crosby deal?
I thought it was a little bit much money for him. I'm surprised he
got that
much. No. Hey, asshole. I didn't say I didn't like it. I just said I'm surprised he got $100 million, basically. He's been good his whole career. But I can't believe he got that much. He got more than Harold Landry. I was just surprised he got that much after just, I would say, one really good year. I'm surprised it wasn't like...
I thought he didn't get that much money. I thought he was going to get more. I thought he took one of the most team-friendly deals I've ever seen from a defensive player. He plays defensive end. These guys are at a premium right now.
I agree. But I wouldn't say he's like in the top 5 at his position type level. Would you? Okay, you're not a good person to ask that question to. So I'm just going to ask that to all the audio listeners.
I get you. I get you. But there's a lot of guys that he's just getting paid less than. Like, he's getting paid less than, like, Alvin Kamara and, like, Dalvin Cook. Like, those are running backs. He plays defensive end.
Contracts.
Yeah. But, like, I just think he took a very team-friendly deal. And I think it's a good sign for the Raiders moving forward, because all it takes is one guy. And it has to be a very good player. And Max Crosby is a very good player. And one guy that'll be the domino. Like, let's say Derek Carr is being contract negotiations. He's like, well, come on. Like, Max Crosby took less money. He took a team-friendly deal. Like, what do you guys want to do?
I'm surprised because I just looked this up. Zadarius Smith, when he hit free agency and signed with the Packers, went for 4 years, $66 million. And I know he didn't have the year Crosby had when he hit free agency. But I would say Zadarius Smith was a better player than Max Crosby for that year. I'm just surprised he got that much. That's all I'm saying. I was thinking he's going to get like 4 years, $80 million, maybe 75. I like the move if I'm a Raider fan. Max Crosby is an all-pro. He showed why he's so good. He's the best player on that defensive line. Like Juan always likes to say, he made up for the Cleveland Farrell pick. So
just a
we'll see.
FYI, Max, believe it or not, Cleveland Farrell is getting paid more than Max Crosby
For this 1 year before the extension kicks in. Yeah. That I mean, I'm not surprised just because you're the number 4 pick in the draft. That's crazy. Can we shift to other edge rushers? So I kind of want to talk about the Packers edge rushing duo, and I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah. So Preston Smith wanted a re-signing, and what, they cut Zadarius?
Yeah, that's like, what does that say to you?
Well, they can't keep everyone, Max.
No, I know they can't keep everybody, but wouldn't you have thought it would have been the opposite way?
No, I don't think so. I would have kept Preston Smith. Zadarius Smith, I want to say he's older than Preston Smith, right? By
Yeah, he's
maybe
older,
a
but
year.
maybe like the injuries or what's like he was really banged up this year. But I
Well,
still
look,
like
Max,
Zadarius Smith, man. I think he still has some value out there.
I love Zadarius Smith too, but they're in this little 2-year window of all in. Like after this year, they have to pay fucking Jaheir Alexander. They still got to pay Devontae. They still got to pay Darnell Savage. They got to pay. There's another guy that I'm forgetting right now on the defense that they have to pay.
Rashawn Gary.
Rashawn Gary. That's the other one.
Oh, well then, yeah, I didn't think about that.
Those
Rashawn
are at
Gary's
a fucking
due up.
premium. So the Packers right now, I'm telling you, they're in this little 2-year window with Rodgers. And they're going to go all fucking in because after next year, they're fucked. They're not going to be able to pay all those guys. Jaheir Alexander is going to get paid top fucking money unless he winds up getting hurt and he misses the season. Okay, he'll probably get less money. Rashawn Gary, sorry, just like I said with Max Crosby, he's a premium fucking position. This ain't no fucking tight end. He's a defensive end. Defensive ends get a lot of money, and cornerbacks do too. Those are 2 premium positions, and they're fucked. Like they're gonna have to let go of guys like Zadarius Smith. It's tough, bro. The Packers, they're going all in a different way. Like Rodgers forced that shit. Rodgers is getting paid $200 million fucking dollars. And that's the fact that they still haven't paid Devontae. And not even to mention what they have like 2 receivers on their roster right now. Like I think Alan Lazard's a free agent. Like they still have to sign guys. It's fucking nuts.
And Devontae said he won't play under the franchise tag. So they're going to break that bank open for him. And it's going to get real hairy real quick, kind of like the Saints did a couple years ago. And the only move the Packers made was they got Devondre Campbell locked up for $50 million. He turned in an all-pro season. I didn't think it should have been an all-pro. That's just my take. No, everyone's welcome to disagree. I like him. The contract doesn't bother me. He's their only linebacker that's good, like inside linebacker that's good. So it's just puzzling to me, like how he kind of like is this stalwart on this freaking team.
Yeah. Nah, the Packers are weird, dude. I mean, they're spending money, but they spend it kind of weird.
Like I would have rather kept Zadarius Smith than Devondre Campbell. And I know.
I agree with you.
To save the money, I understand that, but it was just weird to me. The Packers moves kind of puzzled me because, man, the Packers defense has been really good last year. Really,
you're gonna see really quick, Max, what reason they cut him for. So, like, if he doesn't wind up getting a lot of money, that tells you, like, okay, like he had some injury stuff. They weren't safe going forward with him. If he winds up getting a pretty good like 2-year deal, wind up getting paid about $15 million a year.
Cap, then.
Like it's just like, oh, we couldn't fucking keep him. Like I can see him going back to Baltimore. I would go back to Baltimore if I was Darius Smith.
I like that.
Anything else that you wanted to talk about before we get into Brady? Let's make Brady last. Oh, Jags.
Yeah.
Let's go Jags.
My god, yeah. Oh my dude. Okay, let's just say the state of Florida because we can hit the Dolphins too a little bit.
Yeah. So the Jags, let me go to the Jags real quick. So the Jaguars went on a fucking spending spree today. First day of free agency. They came right out the gates. First one, Christian Kirk signed a 4-year deal, $72 million, $37 fully guaranteed. That's fucking insane, bro. That's
Juan means $37 million, not just $37.
Yeah, well, 37 mil.
That'd be funny though.
I know the Cardinals wish it was $37 guaranteed.
You mean the Jags?
uh, so right off bat, I'll get
That
into some more of the
was
signings, but
crazy.
the Christian Kirk, that was the banger right off the bat. I think it was Mitchell Trubisky first, and then like Christian Kirk came second. It was just like, yeah, fucking top wide receiver getting paid fucking big money. This is terrible. I hate it. I hate that fucking signing.
Well, again, it's not as bad when you think it's a 2-year, $37 million deal. I guess that's the only way to stomach it. But
Yeah,
that's still like $18 million a year for Christian Kirk. You're overpaying him. Just
it's
bring back
crazy.
DJ Chark. I feel like the Jaguars just were like, fuck it. Let's just go all out. Let's
Yeah,
do what bad teams do. Just spend. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's like, let's just throw a bunch of darts. Some of them will hit. They
right.
also got Brandon Scherf one, 3 years,
I
$49
like
million,
that one.
$33 million guaranteed over 2 years. I think Brandon Scherf is going to shore up this offensive line, who hasn't had a good guard since Andrew Norwell left.
Yeah,
And they tagged again Cam Robinson. That's going to be a huge chunk of money.
yeah.
And then they kind of got some guys. They got your boy Okul. You can say his name, from the Falcons.
Foye Alukun.
I think it's a
Alu-
Lulacan or something. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry, dude. You're a baller. I like that move.
Yeah, I like him too. I
Was
really
he an
do.
All-Pro?
Yeah, I picked him for an all pro. I don't know if he
Yeah,
really
dude.
did make it, but he signed a 3-year, $45 million, $28 million guaranteed, not $28. I didn't want to make that mistake again.
And then they
But
got the hardest working guy in the NFL, Zay Jones.
yes, sir. Hey, congratulations, Zay Jones, man. You deserve it. You got yourself a pretty penny contract to compare to what he was getting paid. Like, I think he was still on his fifth round draft pick like contract. And just another guy that Derek Carr has got a contract for. I mean, Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree, Zay Jones, Nelson Aguilar,
Seth Roberts.
Seth Roberts. I mean, these are all guys that have got contracts due to fucking Carr. I love every signing and move that the Jags have made besides the Christian Kirk. I felt like they could have went a different route. Like you said, either re-sign DJ Chark, depending on how much money he's asking for. I know the Raiders are in for him. But even, a hometown reunion with Allen Robinson, if you're gonna pay a lot of money.
Yeah, that'd be kind of nice to see. You liked Evan Ingram too? I'm surprised you liked that one.
I do. I like it for the money, and I like it because it's a 1-year
They
rental.
could
It's a
prove it.
1-year deal, $10 million. Okay, it's a big fucking cap hit this year, but like they're just paying everyone these first 2 years because of Trevor Lawrence's contract. So like right now, fuck it. Like put everyone on the books for these first 2 years. And usually this shit doesn't wind up going well though. Like the teams that wind up spending a lot of money like this and that are bad teams. Like the Patriots did it last year, but let's be real, and they showed it. It was proof. Like it was just a down year. It was a bad year. They had Cam Newton fucking playing quarterback. Once they got shit together, they got the quarterback situated. They were right back in the playoffs. So it was money well spent. When a bad team like the Jags do it, it's never a recipe for good. It
Well,
really
it's like
isn't.
the Jets from last year, Juan. It was just,
Exactly.
let's throw a lot of big money out at guys. We'll see what sticks. And if we lose some
Yeah.
money, it's what we do. No big deal. I like a lot of the guys, Juan, but just typically when you spend this much money, you don't really see the return on investment.
Right. If I had to bet their best signing out of all these guys, it's gonna wind up being Brandon Scherf. I really like that one. I can't believe the fucking Commandos let him go. I would have re-signed him.
I think your boy from the Falcons is going to be fun with Miles Jack. It's going to kind of be
That is
reminiscent
gonna
of
be
Telvin
fun.
and Jack. That should
Hey
be fun.
man, yeah, real talk. One more that I wanted to bring up, or actually, let's just talk about it right now. I think, maybe in part 2 and part 3, some of these guys will be signed. So let's just try to get our thoughts and opinions on this quarterback carousel. It's been going crazy. So the first domino fell, Rodgers. That was the first one. Russell Wilson. You guys already heard the news on that one. So free agency hit. And like I said, the first quarterback to get signed wasn't Marcus Mariota or a guy like that. It was Mitchell Trubisky. He wound up signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, 2 years, $14 million, but can work up to $27 million. So I'm guessing that's all incentives based on if he makes an all pro or whatever, throws for a certain amount of yards, yada, yada, yada. This brings me to the intention of Jimmy Garoppolo. You text me this morning, you're having a conversation with Joey about Jimmy Garoppolo, that you feel like the market is just shrinking. The options are shrinking at this point as far as the team that's going to need a quarterback and trade some type of value for a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo. Your thoughts?
Well, basically, when I talked to Joey, right, this was before the Wentz trade went down, before he knew about the Wentz trade. So he was like, here's the options: Washington, Indy, Tampa, Pittsburgh, and New Orleans. I said, well, you can count Washington out because they just got Wentz. Bang, that's gone. You can count out Tampa Bay. Brady's back.
Brady's back.
You can count out Pittsburgh. They just signed Trubisky. So now you got the Saints.
I think you can count out Pittsburgh not only for the fact that like they got Trubisky, but if not Trubisky, they'll draft a quarterback.
Exactly. Yeah. Trubisky will be the bridge.
Yeah.
And I don't mind the deal for Trubisky. It's a really low gamble. If he hits, you're like looking like a genius. If he doesn't, it's like, it's Mitch Trubisky. We have him for a year or two. No big deal. Yeah. And honestly, people are going to hate me for saying this. He probably would have been better than Big Ben the last year or two. I'm not even trying to be an asshole.
Hard to argue. That's hard to argue.
Like, seriously, just think about it. Like, Big Ben was that bad. I like few years.
I love this spot better than the Giants on what that report that came out a couple weeks ago.
I agree, because this team kind of has the pieces in place. And you know what Trubisky's going to do right as soon as he gets there? He's going to help the run game. You keep it. You design a few quarterback runs. Let Trubisky, hey, we saw Trubisky be successful with this formula of a really good defense and just be yourself. He went 11-3 as a starter, 11-5. They were going to beat the Eagles. Trubisky did good enough job. He's not an awful quarterback. He gets talked about, Juan, like he's, I don't know, who's someone who's terrible. Like freaking Nathan Peterman. He's not as bad as everybody says. The coach never wanted him in Chicago, threw him under the bus every chance he got. They brought in Nick Foles, who was dog shit. Andy Dalton, dog shit. They brought in so many different guys to take the job from him, and they were never better than him. I hope he works out in Pittsburgh. I talked to one of my friends who's a Pittsburgh fan, not happy. He said, F this organization. I can't believe they did this. But what's out there? And you brought this point up. What does that say about this rookie quarterback class? And I saw somebody tweet about people are talking more about the free agents than the rookies.
Yeah. It's facts. It's facts because, we're going to get into the trade talk the draft talk, and we're going to talk prospects. As far as quarterbacks go, I just think it's a weak class. But overall, I think it's a very deep class. Like this is the year where you get a Cam Chancellor in the 5th round, like those hidden gems, because it's so jam-packed because of COVID. COVID fucked up everything. So there's a lot of these red shirt guys that typically would be coming out last year, but since they got red shirted that COVID year, they're coming out this year. So it's just a lot of depth, bros, but it's not top heavy. You don't have the superstars. You don't have the Jamar Chase. You don't have, even as a prospect, I say this, not as an NFL player, but a guy like Penei Sewell. I know he didn't have the greatest of years, but he was one of the best prospects that we've seen in, a lot of years. And you don't have that in this class. And the fact that Pittsburgh is signing guys like Mitchell Trubisky and guys like Jimmy Garoppolo are getting some buzz from teams, it just shows the weakness of especially the QB class.
It definitely doesn't seem like there's guys who are consensus. It's the top tackles, Evan Neal or Icky from NC State, or wherever he's from. I can't think of the college right now. It's not like Jamar Chase was like, that's receiver number 1. Everyone has it. Kyle Pitts, generational guy. Trevor Lawrence, generational guy. Right. Who was the edge from this draft? I can't remember.
Thibodeau and Adam Hutchinson.
No, I'm saying last year. I'm sorry.
Last year?
Jalen Phillips. It was Kwity Paye or Jalen Phillips. That's all you heard. And now it's like there's not really a consensus. It's like I know there's Aiden and Thibodeau, but it's like there's really not a consensus. It's like
Well, there's
there's
not a
so many.
consensus number one pick.
Yeah, exactly. And that's weird for a draft.
Right.
That's really weird.
No.
So if I'm a team that needs a quarterback, I'd call the Niners and be like, hey, we'll give you like a 5th-round pick for Jimmy. And there's only 2 more spots he can really go on unless the Texans want to throw him, or maybe the Raiders sell Carr for like 5 first-round picks. But I
Maybe.
doubt it. Just saying, it's drying up out there. If I'm a Niner fan, you should have moved him last year. But we'll see what happens. I mean, teams are
Well,
filling their spots.
this is what I text you, Max. I think the first domino that needs to fall, and we'll just come out with the news if you guys didn't hear. Deshaun Watson, I mean, he's a full go. He's gonna play football this year. Allegations were dropped. All that shit is done. The courts wound up saying that there wasn't enough evidence to convict him of anything. So he's back to being a normal NFL player. You don't got to worry about anything. Charges are dropped. And right now, as of tonight, the 2 teams that are in the front running are the Saints and the Panthers. So that, to me, like another suitor that he should go to, but I just think it's off the table because there's no way in hell that Houston's going to trade him there, is the Colts. Like that'll be a guy that you go all in for, but it'll be unheard of. It'll be literally like they will regret that forever in their organization if they traded him in
And
division
he
to a
will torture
rival.
them extra hard because I'm sure he hates them a little extra than most quarterbacks.
Right.
And he narrowed it down himself on because he has a no trade clause.
Right.
He's going to the Carolina Panthers or the Saints. And it's kind
Yeah.
of hard for me to believe the Saints after Sean Payton leaves. It's like maybe Sean Payton wants to unretire with
And to
Deshaun
me, it's
Watson.
like, how the fuck do you expect to get paid, dog? Like, like I find it puzzling that he's going to the Panthers. I wouldn't go to the Panthers. I don't know why no one wants to go to the fucking Steelers. I don't know
Well, they
if
got
it's because
Trubisky.
I
Held the
know
job down.
they got Trubisky, but I find it just crazy that like a guy like Russell Wilson didn't want to go there, or I don't know if it's the Steelers not wanting these guys or these guys not wanting to go there. I said it in our yearbook. I was like, whoever winds up getting the Pittsburgh job as a quarterback, which is probably looking like Trubisky, you're gonna have stability, bro. You're gonna have stability from a defensive standpoint, from a weapon standpoint, and most of all, your ownership and coaching. Like, it's one of the greatest football coaches that we've had in the last what? Fucking like forever the NFL has existed.
It's the heat culture of the NFL. That's for sure. The Pittsburgh
Jesus
Steelers.
Christ, they've been good since the fucking 70s.
You're right. You're right, Juan. It's kind of shocking, but it looks like it's Trubisky's job to lose. So
No.
I guess we'll just go
But
with that.
Deshaun, well, I'm excited to see where Deshaun lands, bro. And as far as Jimmy goes, I think what's gonna wind up happening is the Niners are gonna play the weight game. I think they're gonna wind up having only the Colts give them a trade offer, and the Colts are gonna be like, look, we think no one else wants this dude. We know we're the only ones that want him, and we're not gonna give you what you want. And the Niners are probably gonna play it out, and they're gonna hope for like a Sam Bradford situation, like I said in the yearbook, a guy that winds up getting hurt in training camp, and a team just is desperate, and they wind up trading for a guy like Jimmy G.
Best case scenario, Jimmy G's back with the Niners. So that would be my favorite. That's what I'm rooting for.
You know what's gonna be so weird is if they wind up keeping him that much, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, Jimmy G's not practicing today. Like, let's hold you out, dog."
Oh,
Like,
like
don't.
some NBA shit, like make up an
Yeah,
injury.
exactly.
I
One more
like that.
thing on the quarterback class before we wrap it up. I was hearing Daniel Jeremiah, and he's a guy that I do trust within the draft process. He's one of these guys that's year-round draft, draft everything. A good point that he brought up was, during the winter, all these scouts, all these GMs were like, yeah, there's not a fucking first round quarterback in this draft. There's no fucking way. But wait until summer, or excuse me, wait until the springtime, wait until March and April when the coaches start getting involved. That's when they feel like they got a first round pick. It's like the
All it
girlfriend that
takes is one, bro.
It's
fall in
like the
love with
girl
you.
that thinks she can groom a guy to whatever she wants to her catering. It's like a coach, like, oh, I can coach this guy up. I'll make him better. Don't worry. You know what I mean? But it's like, no, he fucking sucks. Like, don't draft him. It's okay.
I like how you phrase that one.
But let's go, Brady. Thoughts on Brady? Let's give like 2 or 3 minutes on it.
Do you think there's been maybe like a lack of outrage about this?
No, I think it's it's worthy. Like, are we even gonna call it unretirement? Like,
It
I
would have
wouldn't
been
even count
different
it.
if he went up, gave the press conference like Favre did,
No,
like balled his eyes out saying how much he loves the sport, how much he loves
right,
the team, and then he bounced and came back. He wrote an IG post. There was no like emotion really. It was everyone's like,
right.
damn, bro, he's leaving. It wasn't like you watched him go up there and crack and like cry his heart out, and then he like faked it and came back.
Yeah.
I think that's what's different about his situation than everyone else's. We've seen it so many times where aging superstar cries, "Oh my God, I'm leaving the sport I love, my family," and then they come back, and everyone's kind of like, "Bro, you said he was out. Like we watched you, we all felt with you." Now, but with one Instagram post, I don't think it like tugged the heartstrings like it normally would have. So it'll be nice, I guess, to have Tom Brady back. I just hope nothing happens to him because if you have a chance to walk away from football after 20 years with minimal injuries, I think you take it.
Yeah.
But I guess there's unfinished business, man. Tom Brady.
I'm
See
just
what you
gonna
got,
say
man.
this. I know he posted the whole thing with the old Bucks and that he's coming back with the Bucks. I still have this weird feeling he's gonna not play for the Bucks. Uh I still have the 49er thing on the table. I would still believe it.
What's
But
his trade value? Like a first? Well, they don't have that.
they don't have that.
Like
I'll
Jimmy
probably
G
say
and like a
probably
second.
say a third. Yeah, depending on what player they get.
Okay.
Maybe a third. But I would keep it on the table, man. I know it's far fetched, but I think there is a percentage that he's not going to play for the Bucks. As all signs indicate, though, he's going to be playing for the Bucks.
Do you think the Bucks moves have been a little interesting at all, or just kind of like? So basically, they're just bringing everybody back. Jansen's back. Carlson Davis is
Well,
back. Franchise spot money.
they're kind of in the Green Bay window. Like, they only got maybe 1 or 2 years left of this.
But here's what
Like,
I'm gonna say the same thing I said about the Raiders. They haven't done anything to get better. They've just brought the
they did
same team
re-sign
back
some
2 years.
guys, though. Signing Carlton
No, I
Davis
agree.
was a
But I'm
huge
saying
move.
like your team hasn't changed at all in 2 years with free agency. You lost
No.
AB. Mike Evans another year older. You're gonna lose OJ Howard.
It's
Gronk's
day
old.
one, Max. All
I
right.
understand that, asshole.
What
But
have
it's
the
been two
Eagles
straight years they
fucking
haven't done
done?
it.
What have the Eagles done? You
We
like
got signed to
Hassan
Son
Riddick?
Riddick. We didn't get to
You
talk
like
about because you're a
that?
jerk. I don't get to talk about my team. Great move for 2 years, maybe. Hopefully, I don't know. Fool's gold, maybe. Hopefully, he's
I
playing.
can't wait.
Hope it's
I
like a
can't wait.
contract year for
I
him
can't
every
wait
year.
until part 2 of this comes out. And I'm happy because we got Tyron Matthew and Stephon Gilmore.
You know what? Real quick, that's a good thing to say. The top guys are. I will say this. I'll say them real quick. The guys who are not yet signed: Teron Armstead, Von Miller, Chandler Jones, Tyron Matthew, Marcus Williams, A. Rob, Gilly Lock, Dwayne Brown, Jameis, and Randy Gregory, Bobby Wagner are the top guys. Top 15 guys left, ranked
Man,
by
if
NFL.
we had Gus Bradley still, I was fucking get Bobby Wagner in a heartbeat. But I just don't think he'll fit Patrick Graham's system. He's not a Graham type dude. Like I said for the Raiders, I would love A-Rob. I would love Tyron Matthew and Gilly Lock. Who would you like the Eagles to sign?
Quarterback, Deshaun Watson. No,
I don't
I don't know, man. I don't really think I want
need
young
anyone.
people young. Like I
Need
don't
a
want
center.
any. Marcus Williams would be fun. No, we got Jason Kelsey. He came back. We're good.
Isn't he retired?
No, he came back for one more year. This is the last year, I
Oh,
think.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, look, I just want us to sign some young building blocks, man. Like maybe like a James Daniels would be cool just to have.
No. Well, that's it for part 1, guys. We'll see you guys in part 2. Hopefully something fucking crazy has happened.